welcome back. It has been a bit. We are here for Brindlewood Bay, Golden Grifters, episode 17. This will be the beginning of the last mystery before we get to the conspiracy. Just hoping that, my mavens will be, you know, really leaning into anything and everything that they want to throw at this particular mystery, okay, before they hit the end. So we'll see how this goes. Yay. All right. So just as a refresher and to like kind of ease us back in, you know the drill. Cozy vignettes. All right. So, theme song goes on. Na, 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 na. And then um, bebopping into your scenes, like what you're doing like in the morning or like in the day, but also remember that because of your void crowns, that you need to make sure that you include some of the creepy, you know, in your vignette as well. Okay? So whomever wants to start, again, the theme song has begun, credit crawl, all that, and yeah, take it away. Whomever wants to start.
I'll start. All right. So, it's coming in, panning in through the cities, normal, and then it's going to kind of do the sweep over to like Mazi's area, where she'd be working on the car, and you see the hoods up, tools are scattered around, but she's actually not like working actively on the car. At the moment, she's kind of off to the side, just popped up on a bench, kind of like scribbling furiously various notes and or drawings, and Walter sitting there, and it looks like she's like, you can kind of pan in a little bit and see sort of what she's drawing, which is like the lighthouse and just kind of recapping some of that stuff. And it's gonna pan out just a little bit. You can still see like over her shoulder the drawings and things, and then she's looking to um Walter and like describing maybe like when she took a nice swim, or the lovely walk along the beach that Pearl took, things of that nature. You're gonna see the kind of the charcoal slash pencil on the drawing is going to get darker and like coalesce up into like this like claw that kind of like briefly reaches up as she's talking to Walter. And then she's going to just start to look back and just kind of back into the picture before she gets a chance to start going back at it. And, so she's very animated talking about things, and you can see like little snapshots of the previous uh Walter not included visit.
Next, we see Pearl, who is in her backyard rather than her kitchen for once. We've seen it through the window, but haven't really been out there a lot. Um, and there's a table-style bird feeder in the middle of the yard, and she is currently putting some crumbs on it. Uh, Presumably crumbs from her baking. And it's plain to see that birds are used to her doing this because there's a couple, like a blue jay, hanging around nearby waiting. Uh, and even as she's standing there, a crow swoops in and starts gobbling up some of the crumbs, and she just sort of smiles at it, brushes her hands off, goes back in the house, and standing in the kitchen, pours herself a cup of coffee. And what we can see, but is behind her, is that crow flies onto the windowsill, and then another one, and another one, until the whole windowsill is just covered in crows that are just staring in at her.
Spooky. I love a good murder of crows. Okay, and I haven't changed my name, and I will do that now. Uh, okay, so over to Sai, and Sai is standing in her, uh, is she standing? Yeah, I'd say she's standing at the kitchen island, and she's sort of got small shoe boxes and books open, and she's looking through old photographs of her old adventures and her husband and her time in Europe. And as she's looking through them, she sets them to the side, and the camera sort of pans in on a few that are spread out. And in the photos, you can see dark figures start to materialize in the backgrounds of the photos. And in one in particular, the dark figure seems to turn around and make eye contact with the camera. There, name updated. And that's it. Oh, and
Guys, make
Caviar is
this-
there, of course.
Of course, of course. Does Caviar make any notice of any of these strange things that are going on, or is he just pretty much pretty blasé about it?
I would say he probably notices the figures in the photographs because they're moving.
Ah.
And he would be like pawing at them or watching them. But to Sai, he's just catting about. She's not picking up on the fact that he's particularly interested in the photos.
Of course. Of course. Way to sink right back in, guys. So proud of you. All right. As you're finishing up all of your little review or drawings and photograph, nostalgia, and in your garden, I think there is a flyer that kind of comes into view as the camera pans to the Candlelight Booksellers. We haven't really touched upon it very much since, I guess, the first episode. But remember, you are known as the Murder Mavens because you are fans of Robin Masterson's books, the Gold Crown series, with the detective Amanda Delacourt. Well, the Candlelight Booksellers is hosting a particularly famous author, maybe not as famous as Robin Masterson, of course, but the Italian novelist Claudia Oro is the author of The Black Glove Mysteries, starring the macho playboy Enzo Vitale. In each installment, Vitale investigates yet another gorgeous young woman's violent death, luring him into the psychosexual underbelly of yet another picturesque little town. Critics have long dismissed the series as a darker and racier imitation of Robin Masterson's superior Gold Crown Mysteries. But even so, Claudia has enjoyed enough commercial success to justify the occasional American book tour. This time, Brindlewood Bay, specifically the Candlelight Booksellers, is her final stop. So, I think this is the day that the Candlelight Booksellers is hosting Claudia's book signing and her book tour, and maybe Janet, who is the proprietor of the Candlelight Booksellers, has kind of like said it's like we'll have to postpone your regular meeting because it's like this is the day of the book signing, and so paint the scene. As the camera pans over Claudia's books, stacked high on a display table, describe one of the covers on which it lingers. How does this book's plot recall one of the Gold Crown Mysteries? So if you need some inspiration, let me give you some suggestions in the chat.
So we're supposed to say what book of Claudia's we see and how it relates back to Delacourt's book.
Mm-hmm. How on to Robin Masterson's Amanda Delacourt series, yeah. Describe one of the covers.
Okay. Death Walks on Stilettos. The book cover is red, like a deep velvety red, and a pair of shiny black stiletto heels are front and center, along with a broken string of pearls. And this is it's about a death at a fashion show. And one of the runway models is strangled with a necklace. And it really goes into kind of the world of the models and the photographers more heavily, whereas the corresponding gold crown mystery, uh Death Stalks the Runway, was more about fashion as a business and the financial pressures and desire for fame, but also financial security. So it basically took that and turned up the dial on the sex.
As Claudia is wont to do, for sure.
Yep.
I'll go next.
Okay.
Claudia's book, Her Heart Bleeds Wicked Vice. On the front cover, it has a woman who is wearing a leopard print tube top and a tight green skirt, and she's sort of lounged back on a chair, and she's smoking a cigarette, and she has her hair done and her makeup done, and in the background you can see the floor of a casino. And the book mirrors Amanda Delacourt's book, whose name I am blanking on.
Robin Masterson's.
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh, the name of the book.
The name of the book. I should have come up with a gambling pun beforehand. Insert gambling pun here, right?
Well, I mean, like, you could always do like a rhyme because, I mean, like, vice rhymes with dice. So.
That's true. And yet my brain is dead. Her Heart Bleeds Wicked Vice, and the Robin Masterson book was called The Case of the Weighted Dice. And the Robin Masterson's book, of course, has the heroine dressed, Amanda Delacourt, dressed more conservatively, and it's actually about corruption within the Las Vegas gambling scene. And when a young employee of a casino gets caught up in a scheme to embezzle some money, and she is able to help that young employee. And of course, the Her Heart Bleeds Wicked Vice focuses more on the main character and how much she enjoys being in Las Vegas and partaking in all of the sin-filled activities that are available to her there.
All right, so pans across a little further, and there's The Girl Who Knew Too Little. And it definitely reminds people of Children of Darkness, one of the original earlier works of Robin Masterson.
Masterson, yep.
Masterson. My brain was like, Matters? No. And it's one of her earlier works, so it was a little rough around the edges, a little bit darker in tone before she kind of found her footing. And so it calls back to those like original story, and it definitely has the Robin's version has on the book, it has kind of like a house you would see with like the fog kind of shapes around where you might see figures standing, and the Girl Who Knew Too Little is very similar. It's got a house, but instead of like the fog being it's just like she's standing there, and it's kind of like you could tell she's a blank slate instead. And so it kind of gives the same vibes, gives the same feeling, but not sure how dark it is compared to that, or if she went a little bit more questionable in her writing.
So an establishing question with this is that one of you, who among you, was a devoted reader of the Black Glove Mysteries before joining the Murder Mavens book club. What is it about Claudia's work that makes you feel that she's not a mere copycat, but a misunderstood talent? I'm going to post these questions in the chat so you can see it easier. Okay? So who do you think was a secret fan of the Black Glove Mysteries before deciding that Robin Masterson isn't so bad?
Caught myself muted. I could see Pearl being a fan. I could certainly see either of the others. If Sai is, I'm sure that she's kept it more quiet because Sai is a little more
Reserved?
conservative in her tastes, I think, for the most part. But she could be a secret reader of smutty mysteries. I don't know.
Smutty mysteries.
Luna definitely is. I don't know about Sai. I don't think Sai is.
Yeah, I don't know that Mazi would read murder mysteries, second mysteries, any in that like originally. I feel like she would be more like action books.
It feels like a Pearl thing to me.
It definitely feels more like a Pearl thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
Fair.
Pearl, you get the smut.
But what is it about Claudia's work that makes you feel she's not merely copycatting Robin, but she's a misunderstood talent in her own right?
I think it's the character of Enzo himself, because he is a million miles different from Amanda Delacourt, and so that not only informs the tone of the books, but the psychology of who he is and how he gets involved in these mysteries, I feel is well drawn. And the way that the things that he's investigating mirror things in his own life and his own past, I think is interesting. And really it's something that you don't get as much with the Gold Crown Mysteries, because Amanda gets involved because she gets involved. And that works. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, and sometimes it's because she knows somebody or whatever. But it's a different motivation, different set of drives.
Yeah. I think as you are looking at the display, and while Janet Flock, the proprietor of the Candlelight Booksellers, is usually kind of messy, with her bun being a little bit askew, and sometimes her dress is a bit wrinkled or whatever. I mean, she's made an effort to just present like a very smoothed appearance, like more poised, because when Claudia appears, Claudia is very, I mean, you would recognize this Sai, because, I mean, she has the delicate pixie-ish features of a former model. She's tall, she's got graying hair, but that graying hair has been dyed like that glamorous platinum color, that glamorous platinum blonde. And, she still walks, even though a little bit stiffly, she still walks with every bit of her, model experience. And you may even recognize her, like, if you've been to any of the fashion events in Europe, Sai. So, you, even if you are not a secret fan of Claudia, like, you would recognize her, like, from her old profession, right?
What is Claudia's last name?
Oro.
O-R-O?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. For my notes, which I'm
Okay.
actually taking this time.
No problem.
Don't get excited, Rachel.
They're not as interesting as yours, Rachel. I mean, I'm sure none of us can have notes as interesting as yours. So,
That's what I do.
yeah, but I mean, Claudia's making the rounds. I mean, this is partly a book signing, but also a display of her books here. Janet is also a businesswoman, regardless. And I think she might have even whispered over to you all, that she had reached out to Claudia personally to arrange this bookstore event, the final stop of the book tour, just because it's like whatever gets the customers in the store and buying the books, that's what she's going to be doing. So, Janet is still anxious about competition. I mean, like, she gets some foot traffic from the tourists that come in, of course, on vacation, like, they're going to pick up something to read, but still, she wants to make sure that she is always, trying to keep a finger on the pulse. Also, among the usual mass market paperback versions of her books, there's also on sale and on display, even, there's a deluxe edition of the very first Black Glove Mystery in pristine condition. It's smooth, black, leather binding. There's pages edged in metallic red. And if you flip through it, there's a foreword by Robin Masterson herself. So.
Wait, this is a first edition of one of
first
the Delacourt books, or
no? This is all the Claudia
Okay.
Oro's event. So it's like the first a deluxe edition of the first Black Glove Mystery
okay,
in pristine condition
with a
Yeah.
forward by
by
Masterson.
Robin. Yeah,
Okay,
they are friends.
making sure I'm following. There's a lot of names who dropped in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, there's gonna be more because this is
Who's
a bookstore event.
Enzo? What does Claudia do?
Yeah, Enzo is Claudia's
Main
protagonist.
character.
Yeah, exactly.
You're muted, Sai.
We need the whiteboard back. Just draw a
We
little
do. Our
family
murder board.
tree. It's happening.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but Claudia is a longtime friend of Robin's. Literary rival, yeah. But she's very pleased to be here and glad to be promoting her books at this event, of course. As she's going around, it's kind of like a reception too. It's not just a book signing, but it's or display. It's also like a reception of sorts, And so she had arrived in Brindlewood Bay about a week ago. So, and she kind of just mentions that, but I think if any of you are looking at her as she's mentioning her stay at Brindlewood so far, I mean, you might recognize there's a bit of a pinch to her lips, like as if she's tense for some reason. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, if you if you think that you've provided some snacks, I think Janet, might have asked you, Pearl, to see if you have any of the the puff pastry finger foods that you can make.
Yeah, I can
Everybody's
make some
always
little,
up for finger foods.
some little mini vol au vent kind of hors
Yes, vol au
d'oeuvres.
vents. I think Claudia will actually compliment whomever has made these wonderful things. Oh, I should also disclaim, I am terrible at any other accent besides English, besides British. So I'm sorry if it doesn't sound Italian. All right. But anyway, Claudia gives a compliment to the wonderful baker of these vol au vent. Fantastic.
Thank you. I will identify myself. I'm not going to be so modest as to just hang in the background because that's not
good
me.
job, whoever did that.
And then, I think Claudia's eyes will kind of stray over to one of the corners where there's some random posters and such, and she says, "Oh, you've won that local competition, yes?"
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Oh, the baking one. That's right. Yeah.
congratulations! And
Thank
I can
you.
see why. These are absolutely wonderful.
Thank you so much.
I don't eat much myself these days. Got to keep this trim figure, of course. But this has been wonderful. Delicious.
So glad I can tempt you with my cooking. And so glad you're here in Brindlewood Bay. I love your books. And
Oh, That's wonderful. Ah, yes.
Glad to have you here.
Appreciate it. I'm quite glad to be here. I know that my friend and her eyes stray to the shelves that have like like all of the Robin Masterson like books, the Gold Crown mysteries, at least in two copies of each, and like all of them on her shelves. I can see that I am still rivaling my friend, but it is good that this event is about me. Please
Exactly.
enjoy, and if there's anything that I can sign for you, please let me know.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yeah, I've brought a couple of books, at least one of which is not a valuably early edition, but a relatively early edition that has clearly been carted around and read a lot. So,
She looks almost touched, as you hand it to her, and then she can see, it falls open quite easily, like the binding's a bit broken, but I mean, like, it looks well cared for and well loved. I see someone has been reading and rereading about Enzo.
yes.
So she takes her pen, and then she'll give a flourish to to her signature on the frontispiece, or I can't remember, like the
Title
inner lining.
page or
Yeah, there we go, the front page, and she'll like, who shall I make this out to?
oh, my name is Pearl.
Hmm, lovely. To Pearl, a devoted fan. And then love from, she'll write, love from Enzo and Claudia.
Pearl's just having a grand old evening. Nothing
Um,
could possibly go wrong.
I mean, Janet's a little bit harried. I mean, like, if Mazi or Sai is, noticing Janet kind of like looking towards the door or towards the back, she's like kind of running her hands. She's trying not to run her hands through her hair, but she can't quite help it. So that bun that was smooth when she started is getting a little bit messy again, like her usual self, and she's
Question.
looking worried. Yeah.
Is there like what is the turnout for this?
The turnout is we've got a few people, that have been invited specifically to this reception,
Mm-hmm.
like you three, because you've been
Because we're
loyal.
amazing.
Yeah, well, yes, absolutely, but also too, you have your usual meeting, and again, Janet felt bad that she had to cancel, like, postpone your meeting because of this book event, so she was like, oh, you're definitely invited, of course. I mean, you must come. And Pearl, if you could make some of these things for me, that would be wonderful. um so yeah, you're all three invited, and I don't think Janet knew about your enjoyment of the Black Glove books, but I mean, she's just like kind of looking at you wonderingly, and it's like, I didn't know. If I had known, I would have stocked more of these before the event. But anyway, and then yeah, there's like the usual press, but somebody seems to be missing. Like, the photographer's not here yet, which it really can't be officially underway because, I mean, there's supposed to be some glad handing here, of course, so certain invited individuals, some people that have been like specially invited as VIPs, and
I'm
then
assuming she has like maybe like a poster or two, even if
mhm,
it's like pinned up inside.
yeah.
I'm gonna take one of those, and I'm assuming there's like that street kind of curb parking or whatever,
Hmm.
and I'll go and I'll pop JoJo's hood,
Yeah.
like in that like cool car pose, and put the poster up, kind of like
Oh.
helping like do a little bit like, hey, cool
Oh.
car, and
Cool card pose.
cool car, and then there's like the poster, and then maybe cut out a little arrow that's like pointing to the store in case people are daft. um
Well, Janet's again appreciative to you, Mazi, for thinking of that. I mean,
trying to get
she's got one of those sandwich boards, like kind of like, set up outside, but I mean, like, some foot traffic may not even notice.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else is like going old, like, towards all the other resort and vacation-y type things that are here in Brindlewood. So,
Maybe
not
I'm
a
propped
surprise.
up against the car, like, casually reading one of what's her name? Oro's books.
Yeah,
Claudia. I was gonna say End Zone. I'm like, that's not the
Very
right name.
casually reading it.
Very
very
casually. It's
casually.
upside down, and
Oh my god!
it's actually I just took the book cover off of it and put it on another book.
Comic book inside the book that you're
Yep.
actually
I put the
reading.
sleeve on the outside. No. So no, I'd be reading one of her books. Maybe picked up one that had a car on the front of it. I'm like,
Yeah, there you
let's see if she can accurately portray a car. That's how I judge them.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Um,
I'll have Sai check on Janet. Just check
yeah,
in with her because she seems nervous. She seems a
yeah,
little distracted.
yeah. I mean, she'll kind of admit to you, sigh. I don't know what happened. The photographer Scarlett, she was supposed to be here like a half an hour ago, but she hasn't arrived. It's getting late. I need to get the book signing started, otherwise Claudia's not gonna be out of here in time for dinner. Ugh.
Well,
Should I start? I mean, I don't want to delay her, but I also don't want this moment to be missed, right? I mean, like, we're having Claudia Oro here, like with all of her black glove mysteries.
half an hour late is exceedingly late to an event. But
Yeah.
as you said, I would hate for the moment to be missed. Does anyone else have a camera? Is she supposed to be with the reporters? Do they know where she's at?
No, I mean, to be honest, I mean, of course, it's because it's just me and not the big box store. It's like they didn't send anybody out. Although, oh boy, um, Tess Blow over there, she's the critic. She's the book critic for the Brindlewood Beacon. So,
Hmm,
don't think that she would have the photographer, like with her
right.
taking pictures. She'd want to just kind of be on the down low to make some comments, I'm sure. Uh,
Well, considering that we are missing our photographer, I say we just um, make the best of it and search the crowd and see if anybody has a camera phone that they'd be willing to, one of those cellular devices with the phone on the inside that also is a camera in the back. Um, Perhaps we could borrow one and then at least we would have some pictures, if not the best pictures. Because, it's a whole event. It's very important. And without photographic evidence, did it even happen?
True, true. No, you're very right, Sai. I'm really surprised you don't have a smartphone by now.
Oh, I think I did. I wouldn't know where it is, though. Hardly ever use the thing.
Okay. Uh, oh, there's Erica Valentine. Um, I don't know if you've seen her. She's new to the sheriff's department.
Maybe she has a phone.
Yeah, let's check. Only because I'm just worried about having this event captured, of course. I mean, it would be
Mhm.
helpful to have an official photographer, but
Now,
I
what
should
is
have
that
known.
photographer's name?
Her name is. Sorry, she was referred to me. Let me see. Scarlett Waitley.
Scarlett Waitley. I almost wrote down Ruby. All right. I will go and ask around and see if anybody's got a camera we can use. Any port in a storm, right?
Yeah, yes, yes, yes. If you can go over and ask Erica over there to see if she can take some pictures, at least, when we get the event started, I will go ahead and, you know, uh, do the introduction
Mm-hmm.
over there, over by the dais, you know. which is just a kind of a hastily erected like platform that's like a raised platform a little bit in the corner of the store. So this way there's a place for um, Claudia to receive people that want their book signed, or like, she was going to do like a panel and stuff, like, and like talk about her books, or like a Q&A, whatever. So yeah, so yes, I did throw out a whole bunch of people and stuff like that. So Tess Blow is the critic for the Brindlewood Beacon. Let me just write this in here. I'm going to give you all these happy notes in the Zoom chat. And then we have another person pointed out to you was Erica Valentine. She is new to the sheriff's department. A new deputy. Okay.
Deputy.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, like, I'm sure that, like, Erica's probably, like, pretty eager. She kind of fumbles with her cell phone and says, "I'll be glad to take pictures. I'm really surprised that Scarlett's not here." She looks distracted when you mention Scarlett's name. But she'll whip out her phone, like, true, like, current smartphone, and then like you'll see like the three like camera lenses on the back of it and such and so forth, and it's like, she's like, showing you the panorama view that she can get, and it's like, I don't think I need to get that complicated, but this should be good, right? If I set it on video, or like some quick snaps.
Yes, definitely set it on video and make sure you get some of those, what are they called? MySpace angles. The children love MySpace angles.
She's about to say something to you, but then thinks better of it, and then just automatically goes to the video, and then just starts recording, because Janet goes over to the microphone on the dais, and then, like, starts to announce, it's like, "We are very glad to welcome Claudia Oro, writer, author of the Black Glove Mysteries, with her main protagonist, Enzo Vitale." And everybody claps, it's here, and like, Tess Blow looks a bit like sour, but like, she has like pen and pad in hand and such, and I don't know, Mazi, if you've come back into the store or what have you, like, you'll see, like, different
Yeah.
fans like getting ready, different VIP fans that have like kind of paid to come here or whatever to get their book signed. They're like milling about as well. But I think, maybe after the Q&A has gone on for a little bit, there's a person here that looks kind of literary, like kind of like a skinny fitted suit, black glasses, very cosmopolitan, so probably an editor. He has gone out to the back, presumably for a smoke, but then immediately comes back in and whispers something to Janet. And Janet, like, looks completely shocked, and will go over to Erica, who has been filming Claudia talking and everything, and making some pics in between video. And she will call Erica to come over, and then Janet will come over to all of you, if you're like in one section by yourself, and say, "You might want to see this," or just make like you're not wanting to see this. And the fellow who came in looking sick, he still looks sick in the corner, and actually starts to shiver from what he saw. But yeah, Janet will come out to the back alley behind Candlelight Booksellers, and Erica is leaning over what looks like someone sprawled out in the alley, face down. Her hair is like fanned dramatically across the asphalt. And from what you can see that she has a bright blue dress on, and there seems to be a camera like next to her, like one of the like one of those official looking cameras, like with a full on lens and stuff. But yeah, her bright blue dress has quite some red, quite a lot of red on it. And Erica looks up from where she's kind of like checking the body for a pulse and says, "Oh, I gotta call this in.
Of
She's
course you
dead."
do. Yes. I don't know whether Sheriff Dalrymple has mentioned us to you, but we have helped out from time to time. And if you'd like to leave us to keep other people out of the scene while you make the call.
I mean,
We're well
you're
respected
no
in the
blockade,
community.
but I mean, I'm sure like if anybody comes by, you know what to do.
And Janet, would you mind, just for the moment, making sure nobody leaves, just in case, Eric, I'm sure people will need to be questioned.
Yeah, Erica's nodding, and basically we'll call it in like she has her phone, and she's gonna call it into the sheriff's office, and then Janet goes to uh, close up the shop, or at least like kind of like try to cajole people into staying or what have you, and then she's kind of like surreptitiously closed the shop to anybody else coming in.
Yeah, flip the sign around,
Yeah,
throw
yeah.
the latch, be like private event in progress.
And as this is happening, it's like, Claudia herself will come out and take one look at the body in the alley, and she'll say, "This reminds me of something that happened to Enzo Vitale." And so begins the mystery of blood and black gloves.
Woohoo.
This is a complexity 7 mystery, and it was written by Sarah Bowling. Pearl has already built up one clue from something else, but if at this point we want to sort of back it up a little bit, or like kind of treat it as like outside of this introduction, did you want to do your dream state for the Dale Cooper move?
Yeah, sure.
How does that work? Can you just read that off again?
Yeah, we'll read it off. It is get back to the right tab here. At the beginning of each session, the keeper will give you a void clue in the form of a strange, unsettling dream you experience. So void rather than mystery specific.
Okay. Well, it's convenient because there is something fun from the void clues here. So, and if you want to write this in somehow as a note, or in the, under the void clues, that's fine. So I think in anticipation of the book event, which you knew was happening today, right? I think it sort of led your dreams. And as you begin to approach actual waking, I think you find yourself reaching for a shelf somewhere here in the Candlelight Booksellers. Again, like you're thinking like, you're at the event or what have you, and instead of like seeing like all the black glove mysteries or what have you, you pick up something that doesn't seem to have a full-on series that's associated with, perhaps. It looks like a yellowed, tattered vintage paperback, and for some reason you reach for it in your dream. And they say you can't read anything in your dream. However, you're finding it quite easy, and impossible detail is everything that you did the day before. up to the very moment that you picked up the book. And when you flip through it and like read, it flips itself back to the front cover, and the title on the book says, "She soon breathes her last." So that is your void clue. Okay, so yeah, I did not include in like any summary for it because I wanted to kind of like try to organically give you all the stuff. But again, the person dead is Scarlett Whately, and she was found in the back alley behind the Candlelight Booksellers. This is a complexity 7, and you just need to find out who killed Scarlett. Yeah.
Claudia.
Yeah,
Claudia
solved
did
it.
Solved it. She needed a.
Need clues first, thanks.
Do we though? We could just roll.
Such a negative. Such a negative. My God.
2d6 minus 7, what's the worst that's gonna happen?
It's only -7, but if I take a crown, it takes it to the next thing, right? Or do the like that reminds me of a
Daring.
book. Yada yada
Daring. That only works for the anyway.
yada.
Oh,
Only works for the
goodness.
what? Go ahead.
Nothing. I'm not even going into it
Listen,
yet.
we've got 2 options. We either get 0 clues and just right out the gate, call out somebody, or we get
Look now.
400 clues.
Look now, you still need clues to make up a decent theory before you can roll on the theory.
Look at her.
Oh my God! Look
Look
now,
at
you haven't
her
even-
is
you
the
look.
clue.
You haven't even talked to everybody that's been here or whatever. And I mean, like, she'll Janet will like close off the shop and then just like ask people not to leave for the moment. But I mean, aside from doing stuff here, there are other places that you can find clues. So, once you're outside of the booksellers, I will give you other places that you can check out.
So is that a no? She didn't do it.
I mean, we don't know yet. I mean, I think we should give her the benefit of the doubt and like, figure out who else could have been at the seat of this thing.
Erica.
We're just gonna name the only NPCs we've met.
Yeah.
It's that guy
Obviously.
in the suit.
Nah.
We don't even have his name yet. He's clearly done it.
Guys are great. Okay, so actually it's over. It's about the hour time. So let's take a 10-minute break. Reconsider your choices. Definitely do some investigation. Thank you.
Brindlewood Beacon Lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, she has a name.
Tess.
Tess. Right.
Right. I'll start putting in. Like while you guys are on break, I'll like for 10 minutes. I will start filling in like who the hell I put in here.
They were all in on it.
They were all.
Obviously.
Oh my God. This
How
is not
many
the Orient
stab
Express,
wounds?
although who
We're
knows?
really good at tying in like 20 people.
Oh my God, sure.
This person's having an affair with that person, but that
Oh,
person's having an affair with that
oh.
person.
Well,
But this person's wife
oh my God, it'll be
insulted
great.
her family.
It'll be great. It'll be great. Okay,
And she's
so
a clone.
take that.
An evil twin. Evil twin.
Oh my God,
The little goatee.
you guys are
and everything.
you guys
When
are
are we
trying to
gonna-
pull out every last trope you can out of this thing, can't you?
When are we gonna get a coma and
Oh my God.
A coma. We
You have
haven't
to
had
have
a good
Amnesia,
coma in ages.
amnesia.
amnesia?
Yes.
Oh my God.
The false pregnancy bit. You gotta have
Oh
them
my
all.
God. Perfect.
Okay, we're not playing Passiona de la Passiones, okay? I mean,
But
but
it could be.
It could be. And also, I will warn you. I plan on involving your pasts in some way. One or all of you will have your past like come to light, and it might not be pretty. So we'll see how you roll.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna be taking some crowns.
Hey, don't forget, you still have a finale to do after this.
So I just
Okay.
gotta get close, you're saying.
Oh my God. All right, so 10 minutes.
And
See you then. Claudia does mention that particular thing, saying that this murder scene reminds her of something that happened to Enzo Vitale. Because she continues by saying, I don't know whether you had caught what I had said, which was that my new book, The Disappearing Man, was going to have the murder victim in this exact way. This is very unsettling.
Is the book out yet? Or
No.
is it? No. Okay, so
No, I've been struggling, I will say. I have not finished it yet, but I know the bare bones of how it starts, and that is how it starts. And as she lets her eyes stray over to Scarlett's body, she will look a little bit further than the camera, where it's like over by Scarlett's hand, and then she realizes that she sees something there, like something placed underneath the camera. What is that? I think by this point Erica has come back over, and she will gently like put on some gloves and then kind of look at the calling card, and on one side of it the words Club Silencio is embossed on one side, and on the other there is a handwritten dedication. For you, Claudia. And she just looks stricken when Erica reads that out.
does that mean something to you? Do you know who this is?
I do not... I've been receiving some... And she says this to you all as well as to Erica. I've been receiving several threatening anonymous notes delivered directly to my room at the Blue Velvet Inn. Personal attacks. And then some about moral outrage over the depiction of women in my novels. People love to ask me, Claudia, why do you write about a man? Why is it always the women who die? And she's like not looking at anybody in particular. She's just kind of continuing to look at Scarlett's body. I'll tell you why. I learned a lot working in fashion all those years ago. I saw that in the real world, it is men like my Enzo who are the protagonists, while the women around them are sacrifices and conquests. Robin's books, cozy and lovely as they are mere fantasies. My work reflects reality. Reality that is as bloody as this. This is where the literary looking editor person that had looked sickly when he came into the store, he kind of comes back out and will put his arm gently around Claudia and say, Claudia, do not stay here and look at this. Come. Come away from here. Let's go back inside. You can do nothing here. And then she just kind of like puts her hand over his hand that's on her arm and says, oh, you are probably right, Dominic. I will go in and wait, I suppose. See what the local police will say about this. And they both go back inside. And Erica's looking down at Scarlett's body and then doing like the usual like trying to kind of cordon off the scene and such. But she's looking upset.
Well, I will.
Go ahead.
I will go and talk to her if no one else wants to, and that may divert her attention enough for a good look at the body.
Sounds good.
If one of you would rather talk to her, that's fine. But
I'm not a people person. I'm a car
Pearl's the
person.
people person.
Pearl's
Yep.
the people person.
Okay.
I want to look at the camera.
All right.
Um,
Sigh.
I want to look at the body itself and the area around. Like, is it an alleyway? Are there two exits? Is there anything around the body that would be suspicious or that I'd want to take a closer look at?
Let's find out. So all of you would be rolling a meddling move.
Mhm.
So with Mazi and with Sai, I want you two to roll with reason, yeah, because you're looking this, investigatively, I guess. And then with Pearl, you're gonna roll with presence to see if you can get at why Erica's looking much more upset than the usual law enforcement.
7.
13.
Jesus! All right, great. Okay, hold on. So Pearl 13, Sai 7,
Yep.
Ooh, we
Mazi
roll 2 and Adam
2d6 plus your modifier.
8.
Okay.
Solid out of the gate, ladies.
That sounds
Well
like, do
done.
I get to add them together or do I just take one?
Okay.
Nope, I rolled 13 on a d6.
Right.
Yeah.
Good job. Hey, we could start taking some crowns. Bump that up. No.
I mean, you could,
Take
but
all the
again,
crowns.
you still have a finale to do, okay? And you got to put complexity 7 looking at here. So don't be too excited. All right, Pearl. You're talking, or like you're going over, and then you're working your wiles. How are you approaching Erica to get her to open up about why she's so upset?
I am so glad to see women in this town's law enforcement. It has felt like a boys' club. Too much.
I appreciate you thinking that, ma'am.
This
I
is your
mean-
first dead body.
Yeah. But I'm upset because Scarlett came to us and she reported anonymous threats received at her photography studio. I was the only one to actually sit her down and find out what exactly was going on. Everybody else was just like, oh, she's just trying to get some publicity for, getting threats. This never should have happened. But all I can do right now is make it right.
That's right.
I just have to drill down on a motive. Maybe the murderer was romantically obsessed with her. Maybe the sight of beauty makes them lose control of themselves, so they kill.
Well, gotta work the evidence too.
Yeah,
Gotta
there are
work the
sickos
evidence.
like that out there, though. You know that, right?
There are definitely sickos out there. Believe me, I've met some. But you're gonna get this solved. You're gonna make sure that Scarlett can rest in peace.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna do your job. You're gonna do it well. And you're gonna show those guys that you can, and that you're not gonna let emotion get in the way. You can use it to drive you, as long as you don't let it blind you or stop you.
The upset look on her face is replaced by a look of being very resolute. And she just kind of like, gets that determined frown on her face and saying, yeah, I will.
Yeah. I'm a fan of Claudia's books, but I gotta say, that whole business about men being the protagonists is bullshit. Men want us to think they're the protagonists. Sometimes we gotta work a little harder to get taken seriously.
You are
But-
so right.
But we can.
I mean, I've heard stories about you three. You're not exactly, you're not exactly thought well of at the department,
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
But, I mean, I had to work really, really hard to get here. Because, and here's your clue. She mentions that there's been evidence of police corruption. And she knows that makes her, like, just even mentioning it makes her, like, out of the boys club. But she doesn't care because they didn't take Scarlet seriously, and she's... If it's not about protecting the mayor or, one of the other bigwigs in this town, then they don't care. It's like they're probably being paid out of pocket for that. And I have to be the one to do the drudge work. Or the real work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're going to show them.
I will. But what that means is... And I mean, I know you got a 13, but I mean, she's just kind of giving you a warning. She's not like, she's not deterring you just yet. But just so you know, if I'm to make this a case and catch this killer, I can't be seen to be getting your help because it's not official. It's not following protocol. You know that, right?
I do. You got to do things by the book, and you got to do things with official resources, and you got to do things the way they're supposed to be done. That's what it is to be a good cop.
I just want you to know that, Miss Olsen, because I have a feeling I got sent here because I was trying to do my job where I came from. And she will continue on with her work after giving you a nod. And I think also, too, as you're turning away from Erica, you get a void clue for the 13. Give me a second. I think as you turn away from Erica, I think you look at Scarlet's body and the sight of her hair fanned out like around her head, and then her bright blue dress stained deeply with blood. I think somehow it's flashing you back, like as if you've come out of this particular scene and your inner eyes have thrown you into a completely black and white world. And you can see as if you are in this alley, but it's very old, very vintage, like time out of mind kind of thing. There's someone almost in the same position as Scarlet, but she's a beautiful girl in a gold sequin dress. You can see it. It's like it's just flashing in the alley light. And then standing across from you on the other side of the body is a faceless killer, all dressed in black. And as you look into their, faceless mask, it's like you immediately come back into yourself and then see Scarlet's body all in color again. Sigh, you got a 7. And you said you were searching by the
Body?
Okay, let's see if we can give you a clue first. I think as you're watching, like, Erica put things together, like trying to take like evidence and cordoning off things or whatever, I think you'll see that she starts pulling out bags and she's checking for pockets and such. But I think you'll see that she's putting a marker, like one of those like little folded pieces, tags, whatever, like by something that is underneath Scarlet's arm. And they're postcards. Like some of them face up. And the pictures on their face are rather risque. So you can take that as you will. So the pictures on the postcards are risque, but the ones that come up, like written side up, are just signed with a very flourished E V. Trying to figure out what to get you for your 7. Sigh. When you were, in the biz back in Europe, were you known by your name, or did you have a different one?
I was known by my name.
I think some of these postcards, again, like, are sorry.
Brains are hard.
Brains are very hard. Sorry. I'm trying to figure out like how to spin this. Sorry. So again, some of the pictures are face up, so you see the risque pictures on them. Some of them are written side up, and you see like the flourish of EV. But then I think once Erica starts putting them into the baggie, I think you start to see, you're able to kind of spot like actual some kind of message or messages on these postcards on the written side, and you happen to see the name Hyacinth.
That's my name.
But you spot your name, but everything's in Italian, so unless you think you know Italian, you're not able to read it quickly enough to be able to tell what it says as she's putting it in the baggie. So
Do I know Italian?
I don't know. Do you know Italian?
I would say I probably do, but not fast enough, not
No.
well enough to catch a postcard in action.
Right. I mean,
On the
like
fly.
you can see your name quite large in the flourish, but yet you can't read the rest of it because again, it's in the very elaborate cursive, but you can tell it's all in Italian.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can
Do
choose.
I know Italian?
I don't know. Okay, Mazi, you're looking over at the camera, right?
Yeah, I would be looking at the camera. I would probably did it fall, if it's a newer one, I'm assuming it's got like the LCD screen or whatever that you can kind of like preview pictures.
Yes. Yes.
So that's why I want to try to get like, using like I probably didn't bring my gloves, but maybe I brought like actually no, I probably would have gloves on because I dress fancy. So I probably have some
You
little
probably have
like
a fun hat.
and I have a fun hat.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll make sure that I have my gloves on so I'm not, messing with evidence or anything, but I just want to like kind of like gingerly like turn on the camera and like poke at the buttons and kind of flip through some of the pictures just to see if there's like anything
Oh yeah.
of note. Oh yeah, there is.
Oh yeah. I can tell you right away that there is.
Who am I seeing? What
You
are they
see, I'm gonna post this directly into the clues right now,
doing?
and then I will describe it for the recording. So yeah, as you are like flipping through this is kind of before Erica turns away from her conversation with Pearl. Like you just have enough time to be able to kind of like leave it where it is, but then like kind of like do the buttons with your gloves on, and then just kind of like look to see what pictures have been taken. There's some like blurred out video or some for some reason or what have you, but there is one photograph that seems rather strange. It's a close-up photograph of a blue eye reflecting a slender blade.
Mm.
And as you're trying to make your like, trying to make sense of what this is, you realize blue eye, slender blade reflected, and then you see Erica's foot, like, get close to yours, and she's like, kind of skirt. What are you doing? I know you're wearing gloves, Mrs. Lombardo, but you shouldn't be touching this at all.
I just okay. I just was curious if she maybe got a picture right before something happened.
Oh, if we could only be so lucky.
I mean,
But that only happens in movies.
well, I mean, apparently this and motion to the body is similar to a book. Books get turned into movies, so we're only one step away.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, isn't it? That Miss Oro had described what happened. I wonder if this is not a copycat killer, but
But she said the book hasn't come out yet.
right. But I mean, she was just describing it. If somebody knew the plot or like the outline of what she was planning, I mean, it could be somebody that's an obsessed fan or somebody. Shit.
Somebody like an editor.
Yeah. You suspect that guy? He doesn't look like he's somebody who would want to be willing to get any of this, like, motioning to the bloody body on his very suited self. That seems very out there.
It does.
Can't discount.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You also can't discount that maybe he didn't do it by his own hand.
Have you been reading too many of these
mean,
cozy
me.
books?
Oh, they're not cozy. They're not.
No, I mean, I'm
cozy.
not. I mean, again, you all have a reputation around the department. So, I mean,
We did hear this, right? When she was talking, we overheard. Okay.
well, anyway, she kind of just gives you this look like, as I said to Ms. Olsen, I need to make sure that this investigation is clean. I can't have you all interfering where it's going to ruin the case. I hope you understand.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Out of character.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know what caused the death?
No.
He's just bloody.
Yeah.
She's bloody, and we have a picture of a knife. It's a good chance she was stabbed, but we don't actually know that for sure.
Right.
I just kind of kind of brush off my. I think I'm wearing a pantsuit. Yeah, pantsuits are nice. Classy. So kind of brush it off as I stand up and, straighten out my gloves and hat and everything. And be like, listen, Erica, Deputy, what was your last? Valentine. If we find anything, we will let you know, and we won't make a big show of it. I want to help you get on your feet and get going, and perhaps, clean up the sheriffs.
We're just concerned citizens. You would
Exactly.
want us to report anything that we found.
Yes. Yes, I would. I'd appreciate that, yes. I'm going to say, before we get any further, and before I give Mazi her complication or what have you, you can see, like, just by looking down, because she's kind of waiting for, like, she called it in, so of course, like, she's waiting for,
Back up.
was
Dalrymple.
Dalrymple, forensics, whatever. Yeah.
Whatever
Pe-
she.
People to
If
bag the
town
body,
even has
basically.
a proper.
If she says
team.
Dalrymple, it's like the slightest eye roll. Like,
Oh, yes, of
That
course,
guy.
of course. But anyway, yeah, so
Your
you can see,
boss.
yeah, you can see that, again, you can't see Scarlett's face because the blonde hair is like just fanned dramatically all across the asphalt, and her bright blue dress is marred by a crimson gash. I mean, and then like, Erica will just make a mention of like, judging by the size of the pool of blood around the body, it looks like it occurred just before the book signing was scheduled to start. So,
Before it was scheduled to start or before it actually started?
before it was scheduled to start,
So she's been dead at least half an hour.
at least. If not more. Yep. So. Okay. So, so the condition. Let's see. Yeah, so Sai, I complicated your life by making you realize that you were mentioned on one of these postcards that she's bagged.
Yeah.
And then Mazi, let's see, what can we do to complicate your life? You parked Jojo out in the front, didn't you?
mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're not
She have
gonna
an
give
al-
me a ticket, are you?
Does she have an alarm?
No.
Probably.
You love JoJo. She would have an alarm.
Yeah, I feel like she would have an alarm. She doesn't have an alarm. She has one of those sticks. Not just kidding.
She's booted.
The club.
Oh my god. The low jack.
Let me club it. No,
Oh my
no,
gosh.
she probably has an alarm. Yeah.
Well, the alarm augas or whatever it does, like, distantly.
Oogas.
Because I imagine you have Jojo parked in the front or
Mhm.
something. Okay.
Yeah, she was parked right out front, and I popped her hood, and
Yeah.
to get people in. I would have locked it up obviously before I went inside.
Right, but I think you get like Jojo's alarm like blaring, and I think you have to run off and like see
Oh,
what
yeah.
happened.
Oh yeah, I look like I'm ready to like break some heads. So I'm like, somebody's touched my car.
Somebody
Excuse me?
Somebody has touched your car.
Oh,
They're in
don't
for it.
you mess with JoJo.
Somebody has. Hold on, I gotta find what I need and where the hell is it?
How come Caviar gets a love life and JoJo gets vandalized? No.
Yeah, I mean that's basically what happened. I mean, somebody has broken one of the windows of JoJo, the driver's side window,
Oh, I better be covered by insurance.
and there's what looks like an arterial spray of blood against the windshield, like a splurt. But strangely enough, not any blood on the driver's side window, which is where like it got broken into.
So it's like on the inside windshield though.
Yeah. So yeah, like JoJo's a bit messy right now.
That's more than a problem. Why is there blood? I have question, Mads. I have questions.
Giving you a moment. Giving you a moment. Oh man.
Immediately going back around and being like, Erica, problem.
There's been
And-
another crime. There's been another murder.
I don't know. I'm gonna pop when I get back around with Erica. I'm gonna pop the trunk and just kind of scope my car out, make sure there isn't like a body stuffed in the trunk randomly. I don't know.
Wow, so suspicious. Oh my god. Oh my god.
First you steal Walter, and now you're messing with JoJo. This is unacceptable, Mads. Is there a body in the trunk?
No,
Good. Okay.
not for an 8.
Hey,
Like if you had a miss, I did like probably.
Like there's 2 bodies in the trunk.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, like I just kind of messed up JoJo. I apologize.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
Pissed.
Yeah, that's your condition. Pissed.
Yeah. Somebody messed with my car.
Oh no, that's your condition. It's like somebody messed with my car.
Dude, where's my car? No.
Yeah. So your condition is somebody messed with my car. Yeah.
Oh dear, I say,
And
strolling rather than sprinting towards.
and Sai, like, how do you feel about seeing your name on one of these mysterious, weird ass postcards, especially with the risque pictures? Oh my goodness.
Who are there risque pictures of? Do we know? Or just models? It's not like pictures of me, is it?
I don't know. Are they?
No, it would definitely not be pictures of Sai.
Or kitties. Wink, wink.
Oh my God! Stop it. Anyway, how do you feel about like the fact that you know,
Curious and confused.
that's your
Concerned.
that's your condition, curious and confused. God. You all in chat. Oh God. Okay. So, I'm just gonna say out of character. So, you have right now, at the moment, you have Claudia, Dominic. There's also some fans here, and of course, like Erica's waiting out back for Dalrymple and the coroner and stuff like that to arrive, and then Janet, of course, is kind of trying to the keep the pretense. You know, obviously, if there's excuse me, any kind of like flashing lights in a few minutes because like the sheriff has arrived and such officially, then of course it's like it can't be helped. But you know, for the most part, she's just trying to keep the murder on the down low, but yet keep the event like kind of still a bit lively until Claudia decides that she can and will like go, right? But I mean, yeah, for the most part, it's just kind of like waiting around a little bit. She can't hold everybody, you know. She can't like, you know, like make them stay, especially if like they've all been, you know, in the event and such. But yeah, I mean, she has their names on a sheet, like a sign in or whatever. And so, like, especially for the VIP part, because like there's only been a few people that would be here for that event. So she has their names. So if need be, then, you know, people can be spoken to later on. But yeah, you can choose to speak to people here now if you want, or you can go and investigate in other places.
I think I'm gonna pull my fellow mavens sort of aside to make this decision in character.
Good.
Okay, we have a crime scene, we have suspects gathered. I don't know about you all, but I am clearly rattled. I I had a dream last night that I'm not even going to talk about right now. Had a vision back in the alley. I just pep talked a cop. I don't know what's going on with me.
Yes,
I
it
mean,
has been quite
seriously,
a
I'm
day.
trying to get a cop to do her job right. Me.
Yeah, that is a little weird.
Are you
A
gonna
little
are you gonna call
off-brand
are you
for
gonna call
you.
Adamas?
Maybe I should. Maybe I should. Just need to hear a nice, friendly voice. Just settle me down a little. Yeah, yeah. So you two talks amongst yourselves. I need to call my sweetie.
Well, Mazi, what do you think? Both
Just like a
Claudia,
grumble.
Steam coming out of
yeah,
Mazi's ears.
yeah. Both Claudia said that she was receiving threatening notes,
Mhm.
and Erica said that Scarlet was receiving threatening notes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's some additional work we could do where Claudia is staying at the Blue Velvet Inn. But I would like to talk to Dominic first,
I think that'd be a good idea.
since he found Scarlet.
Right.
It was definitely him.
I told you it was him. I'm ready to throw hands, man. Somebody touch JoJo. Like,
this vision of this little old lady getting ready to throw down, throw a hat in the face
give
and
me your
then beat them up.
needles. No.
God, it's
On
great.
the plus side, this means that you can spend the next couple of weeks fixing her up.
Knitting needles, hell. I bet Mazi has a tire iron
Oh yeah,
for these occasions.
and crafting scissors and yeah.
Do you think that Janet has security cameras outside the shop?
Or business across the street might.
Possibly.
What is across the street?
I leave that up to you guys. You can decide.
Gas station.
The bank.
Is it on? It's on the main street, right?
Yeah, because Brindlewood Bay is like the resort town or whatever, so there would be the main drag of shops and curios and,
Can it be one of those like cheesy souvenir shops that's got like the Brindlewood Bay mugs and T-shirts?
Yeah.
And,
Shell
like,
City.
What's the name of, put this in the Brindlewood Bay tab, but what's its name and who's its proprietor? And then each of you give a detail about the shop. What is it about? Okay, I'm going to give you the leading the establishing question. Like, what is it about? Paint the scene question. What is it about this particular souvenir shop that shows you not only the surface holiday spirit of Brindlewood Bay, but gives a hint at its dark past?
I have a suggestion for a name.
Okay.
Bayside Baubles.
Ooh, nice. Go for it.
I put mine in the which was
Oh, that's good too.
Brindlewood, you stay longer.
Oh,
Is it cheesy?
oh my God. Maybe that's its subtitle. You don't know.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, they had that written over the door.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Good. Yeah. Put these details in the Brindlewood Bay tab for it. Who's its proprietor? Is it a him? Is it a her? Is it a them?
Then
I mean, think on it. You'd have to be a particular kind of owner to own, essentially a tchotchke shop of Brindlewood Bay souvenirs, especially ones that hint at, a dark past. But yeah, one detail that, shows this souvenir shop knows the surface, but also the depth of Brindlewood Bay.
I might go with something like kind of nautical themed because I'm thinking when you go into the store, it's got your typical, there's a couple T-shirt racks, there's some hats. If you go a little bit further in the back, so I'm from Orlando, there's a lot of tchotchke souvenir shops, and they all have your really, really quality tchotchkes that are like the starfish or the ship in a bottle. So it's gonna have some of those, and then kind of tucked in between those there's going to be sort of those ships in a bottle, but the ships seem darker. Kind of at the front you've got the ships with the bright red sail. It's red and white striped, but if you look kind of shuffle that aside, behind it is it's an all black ship. It looks like it's not a new ship. It looks like it's been out on the sea for a while. Everything's kind of tinted a little bit off in the bottle itself.
Yeah. And in fact, I will give you the name of a ship that is quite part of the Brindlewood Bay past, and that is called the Deep Reaver.
We had a flashback of that.
Yes, you did.
That's why I was like, I'm gonna bring that back in.
Bring it
Yeah.
back.
Has it got the weird monster on board?
I want to
Maybe.
say not on board, but
When you're
in
not
the
looking at it.
water,
Oh,
there's like reflections kind of
yes.
painted.
One tentacle reaching up.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. I'm gonna add to this, if you guys wouldn't mind putting this into the tab. But one of the tchotchkes that you're able to get here at the store is, like, you know how they have pens, right? Like, and how, like, you know, if you turn the pen a certain way, then like the weighted thing like kind of floats upward or
Mhm.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think that when you turn this particular pen, it has one of those like little movable silhouettes of like the deep reaver. And so when you turn it a certain way, the deep reaver will like kind of ride on the waves. But then underneath you can see painted like the shadow and silhouette of something very sinister and very large. But only when you turn the pen a certain way. Used to love those pens too.
They are very cool.
Yes.
I'm not familiar.
Really?
I'm trying to think of what's
Like,
it was
how
like
many
something.
different
Oh,
people
it
have-
had a swimmer. I think the one that I had like a long time ago. It was like it was like for like the pen would have like the swimmer on the bottom, and then when you turned the pen, it made it look like the swimmer was swimming upward through
Okay, I
the sea.
found like an Etsy listing of some.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Floaty pen.
Floaty pens, whatever. But they're fun. I like watching those because they'll move while you write. It's really funny.
It was like, nah.
No.
There's a link in the chat now,
Oh,
too.
great.
Okay,
Thank you.
cool. Yeah.
The floaty
Remember
pen.
an iconic
Yes. Oh
souvenir.
my god.
I've
Love
literally never seen these before.
that. Oh my god. Oh, they're so fun.
The floaty pen.
It's like childhood.
Yeah.
What?
Yep,
what
the
it-
dolphin pen. Yep.
Yeah.
Something like
What do
it.
they do?
They just slide
There's
it
there's
back.
liquid in the
Yeah.
clear
Yeah.
the clear section of the barrel, and a little picture or something that floats, like a little thing that floats along when you tip it.
Oh, I'm seeing like a horse and carriage and what looks like
Mhm.
maybe I can't make out what that one is, but then like
There are also ones where you can make the
there's some
person's clothes
car.
disappear.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yep.
Tell me more.
Too damn
Go
funny.
on.
Some of them would have like glitter in it and stuff
Mhm.
like that, and then like a little figure or something like that.
It's like
that
a
would
lava
swim.
lamp pin.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Didn't mean to bring that up.
Get distracted.
Nostalgia.
It's okay, I love it.
Did anybody have
Oh.
any other detail that they wanted to add about what was found in this shop and who the proprietor is?
Since we know that the Monkey Point tourist industry has been dominated by Brindlewood Bay, there is a model Monkey Point lighthouse.
Oh dear.
Scandalous.
Scandal.
Fortunately, the door is closed. You can't see the teeth, but but I think there are a couple of little figures in the water, and maybe it's just how it's painted, but those eyes just seem too big, not quite right. Yeah.
Love it. Oh my gosh.
Have we decided on the proprietor yet?
Not
I
yet.
think his name should be Oscar.
Oscar Wilkinson,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's a
and
good
he's
name.
64,
Okay.
and
He has
he
a whole
is
backstory.
a retired soldier,
Ooh.
and he wears false eyebrows.
False eyebrows.
I like it.
He lost them in the war.
Mm.
Oh my. Okay.
He also has recently taken up the hobby of taxidermy.
Is there a shelf in the store of taxidermy?
There is a shelf in the
I
store
like it.
Oh my god.
where small taxidermied creatures can be seen reenacting famous battles.
This man must be protected at all costs.
I know, right? I love him.
Oh my god.
Protected, stopped. I don't.
Oh my god.
How good is his taxidermy?
It is not good at all.
Have you seen crap taxidermy? Because I
No.
love crap taxidermy.
I haven't. What did we name him?
Oscar
Wilkinson.
There we go.
Wilkinson.
All right. So, for you two who are still here, I give you an opportunity to speak to maybe one person each, and then Pearl, if you want to have a scene where you want to narrate or talk to, actually you want to talk to Adonis, we can do that too. Whatever you like. Okay. So, Mazi, Sai, do you want to talk to anybody that's still here?
Oh yeah. I know Sai wanted to talk to Dominic.
I do.
Then the best way to talk to Dominic would for me to probably talk to
Claudia,
I'm thinking Claudia.
Okay.
because they're together right now.
Yeah. Right now.
Not officially. Not like Facebook official.
No.
That we know.
That we know
As far
of.
as we know.
It was them.
I don't know. Are they my book official?
My
Face
book.
space.
Space official. You kids and your official statuses. It's complicated, okay?
Your Insta talk.
No, we got grams on the grams, don't we?
Well, yeah, that's ours. Grams on the grams. Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
Alright.
I would like to petition, Mads, if it comes up, that we do a commercial break for grams on the grams. At some point.
Oh my gosh. All right.
I would like to put that out there.
Okay. If there does come a point where we're doing cut to commercial, grams on the grams.
Grams on the grams.
Write it down. Put a pin in it.
And put a pin in it.
I'm having
Put
the
a
worst
big,
lighting tonight.
big fat, wish star on it. Grams
Is that better?
on the grams.
Yo, dog,
Oh.
I heard you like grams. I put some grams on your grams.
All right, we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so let's see. I'm just trying to find the information. here.
doing?
Okay, so are you this is a two-pronged effort between the two of you? You're trying to just kind of get them involved in convo and then separate them.
I think so.
Yeah.
When you guys come back in, you're gonna see Dominic kind of still trying to give Claudia some light reassurance. Maybe he's taken his arm away from her shoulder, but I mean he's still there next to her and just kind of whispering with it's like you just need to maybe take this as a sign. This is something that you can use to vault the progress on your book.
I hate this guy already.
And he continues to speak in Italian to her. But I mean, it still sounds like soft, reassuring, just kind of still gentle. And then he looks up and sees you approach. Very strange circumstances, is it not?
It certainly is. Have you ever been in a situation like this before?
No, absolutely not. And he will kind of put his hands on his hips and then kind of say something that sounds like an Italian swear, but then kind of looks back at you both and just says, soprattutto, above all, a writer is a fetishist of detail, of words. Claudia only needs to find the next thing so alluring, so macabre, that she can't let it go until she writes it down. If you ask me, and you should ask me, That is how a masterpiece will be made.
I will let you mull that over. Claudia, I would like to speak to you about, about your upcoming book, perhaps a bit more.
She still looks distracted, but then she's like, yes, did you have any particular questions?
Oh, absolutely. First of all, I know that you're doing the tour to promote it, so I thought maybe you kind of mentioned that you were just starting it. I'm gonna do that thing where you kind of loop your arm through the other one and start gently leading her away as I'm talking.
Ah, gotcha.
Over towards the snack table.
Go ahead and do a meddling move, but in this case, composure.
Ooh,
I want to see how subtle you can be, to get her to come away from Dominic.
Don't
And then Sai, you can work your meddling magic on Dominic if you want.
What am I using? There it is. I'm using composure, you said?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to be sneaky.
Oh, yeah.
That would be a 14.
Oh,
I got
my.
double sixes.
Oh, snaps.
Okay. Hold on. So Rebecca 14. Okay.
This makes up for all the terrible rolls I've ever gotten.
Ever?
No,
What?
I have gotten a lot.
All right. So what specifically would you like to know from Claudia?
Butter.
I'm going to specifically ask about the parallels between what she witnessed in that very brief moment that she was outside
Mhm.
and how her story is written. And I do want to subtly drop hints about was there a particular kind of knife used, or anything like that. Just kind of sprinkle in a little bit about that picture somehow.
Yeah. She's going to, because she's distracted, because she's just got a lot on her mind, and you're letting her kind of drift through the book. I think she's going to describe. Sometimes it is the inspiration that Dominic spoke about. The ideas, the details, the words. But sometimes they spill from a place of memory. The way she was killed. You saw that slash in her dress, yes?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I feel like I see that in my memory. And not to get into too much detail, but it is something that I had seen when I was younger. And I had, what did they say? Repressed the memory, where I saw the gash of blood on a woman's dress. And it just seemed to bring up all of these images in my mind. And that is where is too similar, too accurate for words. And she starts to look a little horrified, although she's trying to hold it back. But for you, the clue is a repressed memory of an act of wanton violence recovered.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. And then you get a void clue for that too. Oh boy.
Because I also wanted to pry a little further into did any of the notes that she had been receiving also relate to what we have now witnessed and or what she witnessed before?
I mean, she will just reiterate that it was about. Actually, I will give you the choice. Do you want a void clue or do you want another clue for that 14?
Ooh. Oh. I'm gonna go with another clue for this.
Okay. That's fair. I mean, because it's a 14, and I'm like, I can't get any bigger than that, really. I'm sorry, your question was about...
If her memory that she's starting to remember, if
Yeah.
perhaps any of the notes that she, like the threatening notes she'd been getting, if
Mhm.
those are at all, have also kind of been reminiscent of that memory or other horrific memories.
Yes. Because she's going to mention that...
Like, why is Dominic sending these?
No. No. Although, hold on. So, like, she'll whisper something as she's recounting this memory. She'll say, "Il fine giustifica I mezzi." And then she'll say it again, looking at you fully in the face. "Il fine giustifica I mezzi." Do you know what that means?
No, I don't speak Italian. I'm guessing that's Italian.
It is Italian, yes. It means the end justifies the means. It is an anonymous message I have gotten. It is one of the messages I have received. They were relentless, these notes, these things that kept on appearing at the Blue Velvet. Things about how I am disgusting. I have a moral failing for depicting women in this way, and that I am personally depraved for even having these ideas. It is as I said, though. Robin, while great, is merely writing fantasy, whereas I write about truth. The world is cruel. And going from that, I mean, like, and her eyes get glassy as she says that. I'm gonna go over to Sai. You're talking with Dominic. What specifically would you like to ask or observe? And that will determine like how I have you roll meddling, if you want to roll either presence or composure if you want to notice something specific about him or what have you.
Well, they're equally bad, so either one is fine. I think I would like to know more about Dominic, like his last name and why he's there and what he saw and all the things.
All right.
If he possibly knows me or my husband from, like, how far back does he go with Claudia? If she was in a fashion scene, maybe we ran into them.
Yeah. He is her longtime editor. So,
and
I mean,
lover. Sorry.
They've known each other quite for a long time. And he will have a soft look in his eye, even though he tries to hide it. And when he says, like, very quietly that they've grown very close. He's come to Brindlewood Bay from New York City, trying to give her some inspiration for her book, because she's kind of missed some deadlines, basically.
So he's from New York?
Yeah. But he will pepper his speech with fluent Italian, and he's not afraid to let you know it. It is a romantic language, right?
Some people certainly would say that.
I say it.
I did hear you when you said that. I wonder, Dominic, what was it that you saw when you went out in the alley? Why were you out there?
Oh, I needed to smoke. Not allowed to smoke indoors here in America easily like you can in Europe.
Oh, are you from Europe?
Yes.
You know, my husband and I spent quite a great deal of time in Europe when we were young. It's quite a charming place.
It is.
Italian. Italy. Quite a fashion scene there.
Oh, yes. And then he'll rattle off like some titles of some men's fashion magazines. Usually I am reading the again, and he'll rattle off the title. Usually I am reading the magazine for some ideas about some details for bespoke suits that I can get.
Yes, you are quite sharply dressed. Reminds me of my husband. I don't know if we've been introduced. My name is Hyacinth Swift.
And he'll do like a little bit of a bow, and he'll say, Dominic Bott.
My husband's name was Lyman. How do you spell Dominic's last name?
Oh, I put it in the suspects
Doo-doo-doo.
underneath clues.
Nice. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So what was it that you saw when you went out there? If you don't mind my asking.
Please roll for presence. 2d6 plus presence.
2d6 plus 1. Doo-doo-doo. Roll it. Hey, it's an 8.
Okay.
I had a mild heart attack because I got out of the room and then went back in and did a test roll, and it rolled a 2.
Mm.
And I pushed the roll button and I read the 2 and I was like, oh no. Oh no. But it's an 8.
Okay.
Can I take a crown?
To get,
To avoid the complication?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So that's 10 plus. Okay. What crown are you taking?
Does
Queen?
it matter, or if it's queen or void?
Well, void you have to do an order, and then queen you can pick any one of them.
Right. I think I'm gonna take a void crown.
Oh boy, let's see. What's your next void crown?
The Pallid Mask. Hereafter, during any intimate conversation with another character, you must make a casual reference to death, dying, and the afterlife, or the end of all things, no matter the subject at hand.
Fun. Okay, great. Okay. That's an intimate conversation, so like you're not like talking about death all the time. Otherwise, that could be very scary for anybody. But I will say that what he tells you that he has seen, or that he noticed when he went out there, I had to go out for a smoke, of course. It was getting a bit close here. And although I'm used to, how you say, these promotional events, this is the first time I have been in such a place where it has been small and very close. So I went out for a smoke. But when I did, it was this smell that assailed my nostrils when I went out. And I didn't understand why, because these smells were not of this place. It smelled of wine and leather. Going out into the alley of all things. But then I saw her body. And then I saw the wound. And I had to let them know.
Yes, of course, you did the right thing, Dominic.
So that is your clue, an overwhelming aroma of wine and leather in an unusual place.
It's not the aroma I was expecting him to describe.
No. But things are strange all
No.
over. So I'm going to cut over to Pearl to close off this session. Do you leave to just to go speak with Adamus in person, or do you just go out to call? What do you do? You're on mute.
I'm just going to go out to call.
Okay.
I have a feeling that that the business district of Brindlewood Bay has cute little benches and
Yeah.
such like, so I'm just gonna find one of those,
Yep. I think.
settle in
Yeah.
with my phone.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like,
Unlike
there's a
some people, I have a smartphone and I know how to use it, but
right. Well, there's like lots of hustle and bustle around you, even though there's like, some comfortable benches that, of course, are set out, in strategic places for folks to sit. And yeah, I mean, like, you call Adamus, and he picks up after a few rings. Hi, honey.
hi.
What's wrong?
Oh, I'm just having a day. I went
I
to
know you
that.
were going to that to the book signing.
Yeah, there's been a murder.
What?
Yeah, not at the signing exactly back in the alley, but yeah, and I don't know. Usually I can cope with this sort of thing, not a big deal, but I don't know. I just guess I'm just rattled today.
I worry that you say that you're used to this, but do you need me to come out and get you?
No, though I would, if you've got time later this evening, I'd like to see you. Right now, I really need to pull myself together and get back to doing what I was doing, but I just needed to hear a friendly voice.
No, you always have that.
Thank you.
Come over. Come over when you feel ready. I mean, I'll have your tea.
Thank you.
And I still have, although I was tempted, I still have slices of your pie.
Aha. Good.
I was going to eat them all, but I knew that you were going to be coming over at some point soon, and I resisted. So,
Okay. Yeah. Tea and pie sounds perfect.
see you soon.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye. And I think to close, give me a second, I just want to pull something here. I think to close, I'm going to say that as you are hanging up on Adamus and sitting there at the bench, I think the camera is panning upward, looking at the hustle and bustle of Brindlewood Bay's main drag, its streets, visitors and tourists and locals, going in and out of shops and such, and then the distant siren of the approaching police car will be coming, in the flashing light. But beyond that, in the depths of the darkness, in the shadows of other alleyways, I think there is some kind of melody, some kind of tune that seems discordant but yet also harmonic. And it floats in the darkness and the shadows, and then goes out into the water as we see shadows playing underneath the slowly darkening sky. And that's where we're going to leave our session for today. Let's take a look at end of session. Don't know if you guys had an opportunity to hit any of these yet, but did you solve a mystery? No. Pearl, did you show someone that you've still got it?
I don't know. I feel like Pearl's been rattled this session. Um, yeah, I don't think I did.
Okay. Did you share a memory of a late family member? Okay.
No.
All
No.
right. Okay. Sigh. Did not solve a mystery, but did you share a memory of a late family member?
Did
You
I?
did. Well, I mean, like you were talking about your husband,
Oh, yeah.
so you can
Okay.
definitely mark it off. Did you behave like a woman half your age?
Definitely not. No.
Okay. All right. So take that XP point, and then clear your end of session questions, and then change them if you want. Mazi, did not solve a mystery, but did you dote on someone?
Not really.
Okay. And did you share a memory of a late family member?
I did not.
Okay.
Jojo doesn't count.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay.
She's not dead yet.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I mean like okay, so we finished end of session stuff. I mean like, we will continue onward. I will say there are other places of course to investigate, like the Blue Velvet Inn. You can even take a look see at Scarlett's photography studio, and then of course you could conceivably even visit Erica over at the sheriff's office if you so dare. And then I think, there'll be mentions of, well, I think you would know them. There's somebody that did attend the event called Frank Francini. And he was an actor that opened up a cafe in Brindlewood Bay. I don't think it's the same cafe where you guys got the other drinks, because the Umarell, which is what it is, becomes a speakeasy at night called Club Silencio, which is part of that card that you saw earlier. Okay.
It may or may not be a callback to that one thing we saw when there was the sneaky people in the clubby place. Back in like episode 3, I don't know. I feel like that was forever ago.
Maybe. So, anyway, stars and wishes. Stars are things you appreciated about today's session, each other, gameplay, and of course, wishes are what you'd like to see coming up for this mystery and then into the finale.
I wish I had a more stable internet connection.
Oh.
I mean, like, it
was
held up
doing
pretty well. I mean,
fine.
like, we were
It
here.
did pretty good.
Yeah, you were here. Like,
Yeah.
we were pretty much all the way.
It was,
Like,
like-
we were up to the end of session. So that's where it started to bail. So, did good.
Yeah.
I kept checking to make sure you were blinking when you. I'm like, is she still there? Is she being
Right.
very still, or is she gone?
No. The episode that I
Kathleen.
The episode that I edited tonight, that will be posted hopefully tomorrow if I can just get my ass in gear for the thumbnail and the description. There was that big gap where, like, Luna, you froze, and we're like, oh shit, and then like for 3 minutes, like we're like waiting for you to come back, and we're talking about, I forget exactly what we were talking about. I had to cut that whole section out, and then I put like a little picture that says like technical difficulties. Please stand by.
A little illustration of the camera guy, like drunk.
No. No, it was actually the bridge that I included in the intro. But I mean, like, it was just like,
Yeah, that was ages ago.
yeah, so funny.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. Yeah, episode 2. So anyway, yeah, continue onward. Stars and wishes.
Stars. I really like Pearl playing into like the creepy dreams and the like feeling unsettled. I like it. Wishes. I definitely want to see Grams on the Grams commercial. Just reiterating that. I don't know, man. I want to see how Erica is gonna undermine the sheriff. I want her to overthrow the sheriff and boot him out. Dalrymple.
Revolution!
Viva la revolution.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. We'll see.
Vote Valentine for sheriff.
Yep.
Oh no!
Why do we want a competent law-abiding sheriff again? Just checking.
Maybe less murder, more time for reading?
Yeah.
Oh, and then just as a reminder, Kathleen, like, Pearl has a TBD. So
Yes.
if you want to create a clue or wait until you guys actually do a theorize, just remember that that clue is there.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang on to it.
Okay. Alrighty.
It was Dominic.
Oh my god. Well, you can pretty much parlay it any way you want. You just
We have
have
clues
to
now,
aim.
so I can
Yeah,
say it.
you have to aim. Oh my god.
How many clues do we have? How many?
7 right now once Pearl puts her thumb on the scale.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Great
It'll
roll.
be our fastest mystery.
Oh, you're assuming we're gonna
No.
roll. Worth it.
I mean, I'm actually surprised that you would be just tempted to just theorize it now and then miss
Go
out
big
on
or
all the
go
other things.
home.
Oh yeah, no, we gotta dig into all the things.
Oh, yeah.
We gotta dig
Yeah.
into
So
all
many
that.
places, so many settings.
Mhm.
I'm
Yes.
excited. And we're going to explore all of them very thoroughly.
Oh, just so you know, the Umarell is of course the cafe part, but the Club Silencio is only open at night.
Okay.
So
I think stars for me, all around. I mean, the fact that things are getting personal and like details of the past are coming in is just, oh boy, where's this going? And JoJo.
Jojo.
somebody went after the car. Sorry.
That's it.
Don't apologize. I think it was great
Vengeance.
drama. It's not
Yeah,
my
it's great.
car, but
But yeah. No, I'm here for it. But also, oh,
I know. It's like they dared. They.
I'm gonna
fucking
start
dared.
carrying my tire iron just over one
Oh,
shoulder
no.
and my battle
My battle
pickaxe
axe
that I got.
Oh my god, no.
Touch my stuff again.
Too damn
Pearl's still
funny.
got her big grandma purse, but she's got a brick in it now.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Oh my god.
My favorite weapon, purse with a brick.
Yeah. Gets through TSA every time.
It's the blunt weapon.
Gosh. Like, you don't need this. You don't really need this.
I wonder if you
It's
could go
my
through with a
security
potato.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna just start my things. So stars all around for everyone, just jumping right back into their characters and just being they're meddling, but yet also very conniving. I don't remember exactly the other words to use for this, but just being your each of your own individual selves. I mean, it was just it was very apparent in today's episode, and I appreciated that a lot because I was a little worried. I'm like, oh my god, are they going to be able to get back in since we've had such a long hiatus? And you didn't really need much more than the cozy vignettes to kind of kick you back into the game, which was great. And then all the little details for the tchotchke shop, and then for the titles. All you needed was a little bit of prompt, and there you go. It's you just laid it out there, which was beautiful. So there could be some fun details for later. Who knows? I can't wait. And then wishes, just to see how you guys are gonna put this. I can't believe you're already harping on one suspect already. Just you barely got any clues, and you're already it's Dominic. I'm just you haven't met the other people yet.
Claudia says men are the main characters. Men do everything. So I guess by Claudia's logic.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Was
So
Scarlett
damn funny.
married? She married?
No. Not as
Well,
far
then
as
it
I can
wasn't
see.
her husband.
Oh my god.
That's what ticked Pearl off enough to go give the pep talk to Erica.
Yeah,
Mm.
not a fan of that.
Yeah.
Pearl's just oh really? Huh? No. No. We got a young woman starting on her career. We're not going to demoralize her like that. Shit, I just pep talked a cop.
Yeah, I know. As soon as you said that, I was just are you sure you wanted to do that? But
Yeah.
I know. It's just oh man, So But yeah, I can't wait to see how things get a little bit more complicated. But if you keep rolling well or whatever, then we'll see. We'll see how success looks. Maybe I'll pull an Apocalypse Keys or God Killer where there's such a thing as overkill or like such a monstrous success that like if you go over a certain amount that like it's bad. It's great, but it's also bad because it's like you consider collateral damage, So, yeah, um, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for seeing how you guys solve this. You obviously have opinions, so again, how you solve this, and then like preparing for the finale because I have some ideas of how it's going to be very, very interesting. Anything else?
Is it my turn? Have I
Yeah.
gone? Am I
Oh,
the only one who hasn't gone?
yeah.
Has Rachel gone? Okay, yeah, I'm the only one then. Okay. Stars to Kathleen for Pearl. I really appreciate the fact that Pearl was caught off guard by Pearl's actions. It just makes the character so three-dimensional. Really cool. And wishes, I think I definitely am excited to explore all of the different locations. I feel like we are going to have so much fun like digging into different places, and I kind of really do want to go to Dalrymple's office and cause a scene and get kicked out. So that's it. I wish to get kicked out of the sheriff's office.
Oh my God! Don't! Oh my God! No! I mean, specifically the thing to look at the sheriff's office is Erica Valentine's desk. So, yeah.
Nice. Dust footprints. Get the DNA.
Oh, it's gonna be great. I can't wait. You guys are gonna be awesome. As usual. So, yeah. If there's nothing else, it's like, yeah, you can look forward to more locations and more people to talk to and such for next time. Again, collect as much as you can and then try to figure out. See, it's not the collecting of the clues that's the worry, right? It's more of the how the hell do these clues at the minimum get put together so it has a working theory that will work, and will we roll well enough that it will work? It's like, are you right or are you very wrong? Oh God. Can't wait to find out. Alrighty, so yeah, as far as I know we don't have another game coming up, but it'll be next month that we will meet again for more Brindlewood Bay. Woohoo! All right. So I think that was it. I don't think there was anything else that I had to remember. I'll probably like come up with something else like, in the interim. But at any rate, happy gaming for anything that you do between now and the next time we meet for Brindlewood Bay, and have a great time in between. All right. Thank you all so much. Have a great night. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.